February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit in Secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday in Secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely.
Everybody, me want my smart plan, want it right now. Me want my smart plan, want it right now. More bundles, data plan, me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my smart plan, want it right now.
Bet and Abet and Brothers Abet, we've always proudly celebrated Women's Month. This year, we celebrate women keeping the balance at home, at work, and in their communities. That's why all March long, all women receive 15% off store-wide, from paints to plumbing and everything in between. Plus 20 to 65% off lots more deals on sale and clearance. With trusted experience, top quality products, and service that's second to none, we're here to support women every step of the way. Visit or call.
Now, our board of directors recently approved $2 million for improvement in sports. So today we handed over the first $1 million, and by the end of March we'll be handing over another $1 million. And thereafter we hope to be able to contribute $2 million every year.
This will go a long way in terms of getting the programs for sports going, getting some of the facilities going. We have a long way to go from where we want to be, but this $2 million will be a tremendous help. We want to invest in some of the programs, developmental programs. Right now we're working on a sports strategy and of course sports policy and the modernization of the legislation, and we're working on some of the facilities, and then we want to develop some of the programs with the federations and the associations who do the heavy lifting day in and day out. But this money will definitely go a long way, and I'm proud to be a part of this process. I'm proud to be a part of this government.
In a democracy, what is good for the government cannot be bad for the people, and what is good for the people cannot be bad for the government.
We came a long way.
This is a beautiful day, folks, because we are taking care of the people who have taken care of us, because we wouldn't be here today without you.
a Mandela notice. Our advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper next week. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Friday, March 13. Happy National Heroes and Benefactors Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. The Belize Communications Workers for Justice, BCWJ, has condemned the attacks on Senator Glenfield Dennison, who has served as their attorney during the negotiations with Belize Telemedia Limited for the former workers to be paid severance and related interest. BTL agreed to pay severance, but no agreement has been reached on interest. Dennison submitted a bill for legal fees to BTL, and the document was leaked in an advertisement that forms part of a smear campaign against the senator. In a statement Tuesday night, the BCWJ expressed deep disappointment that, quote, what is fundamentally a workers' issue is now being subjected to political attacks, end quote. It added that the ruling People's United Party, quote, has long presented itself as a party rooted in the workers' movement. For that reason, we expected better than to see a smear campaign directed at former workers who are simply seeking fair treatment under Belize's labor laws, end quote. The BCWJ maintains it has not politicized the issue and have merely focused on fairness and equal treatment under the law. The group believes that the smear campaign is an attempt to distract from the real issue. More action is expected from the group, which continues to agitate for an acceptable interest payment. The University of Belize has a presence on Hunting Key in the South development in the near term, end quote. Casey says their goal is to, quote, strengthen marine conservation, education, and research with a particular focus on improving and expanding research capacity and supporting more consistent, hands-on learning opportunities for students and partners, end quote. Last September, UB entered an agreement with the Toledo Institute for Environment and Development, TIDE, to pursue those objectives at the Living Reef Center at Hunting Key. The family of Hakeem Jones is complaining he was wrongfully shot by police on Monday night and was detained when he attempted to make a report earlier today. They are now seeking answers and are calling for justice. According to his sister, the incident began in Cotton Tree, Cayo, where police were pursuing another brother who ran towards the neighborhood where Jones lives. She alleges that when police arrived at Jones's home and were not given information on the brother's whereabouts, an officer slapped a minor and shot Jones in the arm. The family maintains that Jones did nothing to provoke the shooting.
Well, we have a brother we known to police, right? But I mean, older brother telling that he don't want minor and they don't have right to put hand on one minor.
Hakeem said that.
Yes, Hakeem said that. Then Hakeem said how the police officer Chavez turned and tell I was shot one of our brother. And he said how he tell her, why you were shot with a big man? If we know do nothing, we are not a problem. What my brother don't have he think you can mix we up. And my little brother said he make for turn like figure home and he shoot her behind his hand.
Wow.
And if you say if you watch by his hand, the bullet entered the back and it exit through the next side.
Wow.
So we made one report yesterday and then they tell we for wait make them want send me to somebody make we talk to me, you know, make we care he. So he get released yesterday and we care he. But note that when had he admitted, police just gonna drop him. The officer was shooting just gonna drop him. And my brother said, Alp on the road, they tell her, sorry, and please not press charges, please not go report, and I want to make your next brother walk free. I mean, you they try talk out my brother after something where you don't do.
Yeah.
Earlier today, when Jones went to file a report, police instead detained him and charged him with assaulting an officer. The sister said the family will now seek justice.
We want justice because this unfair that my brother gets shot and now when I got they grin up. You know, like grin up like if that was a joke. Even he have this simple smile on his face like if that was a joke. Come on, only play with people life. Suppose he may kill my brother.
Yeah.
You know, and right now he detained. We can't talk to him. We can't go see him nothing because they don't give way a break.
Yeah. Do you know what they charged your brother with?
assaulting an officer. Okay, but my thing is if he may assault an officer, right? You don't take a police money that they guard him since you wanted like for making a runner, so none of that happened. That way he tell the doctor for justify what he do.
So your brother is currently detained in Rowing Creek. What's the family's next step now? Where do you guys go from here?
We want press charges. We don't want to leave this like that. Because you know if my brother in a wrong, it's fine. Uno do no job. But you can chance innocent people out there after you tell my brother I want shot one of uno brother and as
is on a limited salary and has been, quote, finding it very hard for a long time. When CARICOM heads met last week in St. Kitts and committed to help Cuba, it was a full 7 weeks after the Maduro removal, and Schuman agreed that the group was slow to act.
Do you consider those that CARICOM should have moved quicker, because it's already been about 7 weeks?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a shame. I believe it's, as we used to say, there's an old Calypso song called Shame and Scandal in the Family. You know it? Shame and scandal in the family, because we're one family, the Caribbean family. And they have been very slow to condemn it or to do anything about it. It's a shame on the Caribbean country. The governments, I think the people do feel sympathy and
Due to the U.S. embargo.
How do you find that the Cuban people are coping emotionally and socially with the current shortages?
Well, as we've been talking, they've had practice, right? They've had to deal with that. I mean, like in the 90s, I think that Fidel had a name for it, to call it a special periodo especial, special period, right? At a blow, they lost all their trade and so on and so on. So they had to start to build from scratch. At that time, you couldn't find vehicles around the country at all because it's closed down, there's nothing. So that at that time they manufactured and imported from China millions of bicycles. So people were going around with bicycles, right? They were cooking with leña, no?
Yeah,
they were instead of tractors, they had bueyes, the animals, in the field and so on. So they put up with that for a long time. And then they found an alternative in tourism. So when they found an alternative in tourism and they start to build up the thing, United States CIA start to send terrorists in there to put bombs in hotels to stop tourists from going there.
Would you say, though, that there is suffering in Cuba?
Absolutely.
Despite the adaptation?
There's huge suffering for decades because they're being strangled. If you can imagine what would happen to Belize if they say, all right, no more tourists will come to Belize from the United States or from Europe, you can't do your international banking. You have crops you want to sell, well, sorry, fine, you can't do it through the banks, the SWIFT system and that. No, you can't do that, right? How long would Belize last, you think? It's just amazing that they've been able to survive. I mean, when the Soviet Union collapsed, right? 89, 90, something that Fidel had predicted, by the way, a few years before. When that happened, Cuba lost something like 80% of its international trade or more, right? Like that. So that it's a huge, I mean, it's much worse than what's happening now. Total collapse of the economy. So everybody said, all right, Soviet Union collapsed. They were depending on Soviet Union. Cuba won't last a few days. It's still going on. They have their own system and they have their own resilience. And they have the people, obviously the people support for the most part.
As we have reported, there are 27 Belizean students in Cuba currently, and the official narrative from both ends is that the students are staying put and are continuing their studies with schedules adapted for daylight hours. However, Schuman has visited Cuban universities during his time there, expressed that teaching is being negatively impacted.
I don't know that you would have visited any Cuban universities, but in terms of
yes, I have, of course,
maintaining their quality.
And they say between 8 and 12 today, you won't have electricity, and also between 7 and 11 and so on. So you plan for that, you work around that, you see?
And they stick to it.
And they stick to it for the most part. Sometimes there's an accident they can't. However, whenever that happens, you can't get internet. I didn't think that was necessarily so because that's independent, right? I would have thought of lights, would they have lights or not? But no, because there are these relay stations, I guess, that have to rely on electricity to work, and if they don't work, then you can't get internet. So even the universities were talking, even when they have, long distance learning, whatever they call it, virtual, it's going to become more and more difficult.
From driving for a year. Stay with us.
Running a business in Belize and getting an international order? Shipping your products abroad is simple with the Belize Postal Service. To quickly confirm the order, you can fill out your customs declaration right from the comfort of your home. To access the declaration form online, please visit the following websites. Simply enter your item in the CDS web kiosk to instantly see the landed cost, duties, taxes, and fees. Postage rates can be checked on your rate sheets. Share the landed cost with your customer and finalize the sale in minutes. Once the sale is confirmed, the system generates your declaration identification number, your key to a smooth and fast drop-off. And if you don't have internet access, you can always visit any of our post offices for assistance. Bring your unsealed package and declaration ID to any Belize Postal Service location. Our clerks will verify your items, seal your package, and prepare your declaration, quick and simple. It's fast, simple, reliable. The Belize Postal Service, connecting your business to the world.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes it.
Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
sea una persona ocupada o atrapado en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿eh?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanded investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability. $1,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% occupied property valued at $25,000. We charge an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Come, for them to pay the tuition for their kids. We have a lot of parents who are single parents, and for them especially, this has been a great blessing.
I have 3 other siblings, and the financial burden is really great. And so with me having a free education, they could focus more on my brothers and 2 other sisters' education. And
advise that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper next week. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Friday, March 13. Happy National Heroes and Benefactors Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
A construction worker identified as 23-year-old Kaylin Thompson was injured following a shooting incident on Faubers Road extension in Belize City on Tuesday night. Thompson reported to police that he was with his common-law wife inside their apartment located at the Bingo King building when around 9:45, someone fired several shots at their closed front door. Thompson was injured and was transported to the Carl Huschner Memorial Hospital for treatment. He is in a stable condition. Police are investigating the incident. A couple weeks ago, we reported that 42-year-old Belizean American sales representative Dwight Anthony Arthurs was charged in connection with a February 7 hit-and-run incident at the corner of Cemetery Road and Euphrates Avenue in Belize City. Surveillance viral showed several customers at a food stall when a car entered the scene, drove into the crowd, and sped off. No one was seriously hurt. On February 19, Arthurs pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses. He was fined $105 for driving without due care and attention and $805 for failing to report the accident. He was also fined $30 for failing to affix a registration plate. For failing to stop and render aid, he was fined $1,005 payable by April 30, 2026, or in default, he will face 3 months imprisonment. He was also suspended from driving for 1 year. The Belize City Council held a town hall-style meeting at the Belize City Center on Tuesday night to share information on upcoming infrastructure works to be carried out in the city and to get the feedback of residents. One of the major works that will begin soon will be the upgrading of the George Price Highway from Hattieville to Poundyard Bridge in Belize City. Project engineer at the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, Micheline Gilhary, provided an overview of that project.
So basically the project notes, we have 25 kilometers of the George Price Highway that will be reconstructed under this lot. We have 3 lots, but what we are focusing here with respect to the residents of Belize City is in particular from the Pound Yard all the way to essentially going out to Hattieville. So this project also has a section from the main roundabout going into Belize City to the Pound Yard where we will do major drainage works. The rigid pavement there, wherever it needs rehabilitated, we'll also do, along with road signage and any adequate road furniture required. Along the 2 bridges in a stepped approach so that we do not disrupt the traffic as much, because on one of them we will not allow heavy vehicular traffic, and so they will have to be diverted through the John Smith Road.
Harry explained that the ministry is introducing new standards for the country's highways.
Our highways are now going to be 3.65 meter lanes along with 1.5 meter shoulders. This particular project here will have some other areas where we'll have double lanes, but those will only be in key areas in straights to ensure that we have proper flow for the smaller vehicular traffic. The major aspects is drainage, as we know that Belize City is flood prone, and therefore we have done an extensive flood vulnerability impact assessment to ensure that all the drainages are connected and we have climate resiliency backed up. Right? The new standard also for MIDH is that we will be doing hot mix asphalt, so no more double surface treatment or chip and seal, as some people may call it. And so we will have a more smoother running surface. Compounded, we will have all the road safety improvements, which are guardrails, traffic signs, cat eyes, line markings, and of course some of the pedestrian crossings that we will place in key areas to ensure we have safety for our commuters. Next slide. So this is just a brief idea with respect to timeline. We intend to sign contract this month. So no later than in 2 weeks, we're supposed to have the contractor on board. Site possession is intended to be given by the 10th of April, and we have the completion 3 years after that. So based on that is the time zone that we intend to have these works completed, and obviously we will have some disruptions along this time frame.
Chief Engineer Yvonne Moody said the ministry will work in collaboration with the City Council to reduce traffic disruptions for residents. He also reveals
for that is because there's no drains within the cemetery. I think all of us has driven through there and you can see that there's no drain. And so the idea is for us to build line concrete box drains going through the cemetery on both sides while creating a pedestrian footpath for individuals that needs to visit the cemetery and also for residents that live within the area. Those line sidewalk drains will continue from Partridge Street all the way up to Forbes Road Junction, whereby once we traverse through Western Avenue, that entire area will become a boulevard, right? So it becomes 4 lanes, similar to what we have between Buttonwood Bay and Chitamal Street on the Philip Golston Highway. So it's a wider travel path, and so intense works will occur within those areas, and where you have residents and business within that area. Most of them have been used to using the road reserve for parking. However, those areas has to be reclaimed back as part of the government road reserve. And so that will have an impact on those residents and also businesses that are along.
Works to replace the swing bridge itself will commence in January of 2027 and are scheduled to be completed by January of 2029. Chief Engineer Evandale Moody shared more information about the design of the bridge. He also revealed that a new swing bridge will be built to U.S. standards in terms of its load or weight capacity.
An idea of what the swing bridge will look like. The swing bridge is basically 42 meters in span. That means the length of the bridge is 42 meters. It will have 2 spans, so we'll only have 1 pair in the middle. The width of that structure will be varied from 14 meters to 18 meters wide. The 18 meters is in the center where the bus is, because what we have done in consultation with the Japanese consultant is to try and maximize on space for pedestrians. As the mayor has indicated earlier, I think the volume is about 7,000 you've mentioned. And so we've taken that into consideration in terms of the pedestrian traffic. Hence you see that the footpath is extremely wide, and we have 2 footpaths on either side of the bridge. And the new structure will be able to accommodate any loads that it is designed for. I think it's designed based on HL93, which is an AASHTO design loading. So it should be able to accommodate heavy traffic across the structure. Next slide. Those photos just basically show a different view of the structure. So you just go back to the previous slide. The rails of the bridge has been designed to mimic the leaves on the coat of arms of Belize. So the metal structures that will be on the sides is basically trying to follow those leaves that we have on the coat of arms.
After the break, a missing Belmopan High School student found alive and well. Stay tuned.
Hello, I am Dr. Rosado, a pediatrician, and today I want to talk to parents about rotavirus and how we can protect our children. Rotavirus is a virus that causes severe water, diarrhea, and vomiting. The good news is that diarrhea caused by rotavirus is preventable by vaccines. The vaccine is safe, effective, and available at all nearest health centers. It is given in drops orally at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child against severe diarrhea. Visit your nearest clinic today.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria, con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente. Ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito. Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquit Equipment Parts Service.
Having my own home, like my own home, and that's mine for my kids. I love the bush and stuff like that. I like the plant, right? So now I can come up, relax myself, enjoy myself, away from the city, no noise, you know what I mean? A heartfelt thank you for having me here today, not only for receiving my brand new home, but also to be a first-time homeowner under the MIDH in Harmonyville.
She's very lucky and very blessed to have a home right now in Harmonyville. A lot of people want homes right now. A lot of people applying, and we know the list long. So congrats to her. Man, we're very excited. We've been dialoguing with the minister and MIDH for quite some time now in regards not just to housing, but roads and infrastructure. And they've been very cooperative so far. So hats off to the minister and the teams involved.
This is a community developed by Big Air in the past. I don't know if you've heard of that. We are trying our best to be able to cooperate with them to be able to make sure that the community flourishes. Now that the house is here, you will realize that you have to have roads and everything to get here. So we are in communication with them. I think it's a positive project. We will be hand in hand working with them.
Mandela notice. Our advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper next week. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Friday, March 13. Happy night.
With the murder of Elias Adelmo Bejarano. The incident occurred on Sunday in Cowpen, San Juan, Stan Creek, when the body of Bejarano was discovered bearing machete wounds. Police on Monday told the media they believe the motive may have been robbery, as the accused reportedly attempted to rob another resident of the community. On Tuesday, Belize welcomed the MS Cunnings Dam on its inaugural call to Belize City. The MS Cunnings Dam was delivered in 2016 as the first Pinnacle-class ship for Holland America Line, which is a U.S. cruise line operating as a subsidiary of Carnival Corporation. The vessel weighs 99,863 tons and approximately 2,650 guests. It was designed with a modern music-inspired style and features the World Stage Theater, a retractable roof pool, and over 13 restaurants. The BTB said the arrival of the vessel marks, quote, an exciting addition to our cruise arrivals. We look forward to the Cunningsdam's continued visits and the many guests who will experience what makes Belize unforgettable, end quote. Atlantic Bank has begun rolling out its new essential accounts designed for everyday transactions, such as most customers use their current account in this manner, even though they were called savings accounts meant for long-term saving. Those accounts not used for saving have been automatically converted to essential accounts. Customers began receiving text notifications about the change this week. One immediate difference will be seen at the ATMs. Customers must now select checking account instead of the usual savings account option for cash withdrawals. According to Mike Mena, Atlantic Bank's senior manager for business and retail, each customer will also qualify for a separate savings account. To open one, customers must visit their nearest branch with a valid ID and a utility bill. Existing debit card and online login information will work for both accounts. The savings account option will be chosen to the ATM to access funds in a secondary account. Funds can also be transferred online between both accounts.
We acknowledge that we
And Senator Janelle Chinona instinctive response at the historic first celebration honoring women in law enforcement on Monday, February 2nd, stood out and exemplified her deep patriotism. She was seated in the front row. The stage was lined with the Belize flag and the flags of the three security forces. Midway through the ceremony, a sudden gust of wind swept across the stage and toppled the Belize flag. It fell forward, touching the ground in full view of the audience. Without hesitation, Senator Chinona sprang from her seat and ran the short distance to lift the flag from the ground, holding it upright until the official flag bearers arrived to secure it again. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV B8.